Are we live? All right. Feeney Talks with Friends, episode 6. So happy to be here. Facebook Live. Hopefully you're here. You're joining me. Hopefully my comb over looks good. My Schmedium Speak Up shirt. Episode 1. If you want to learn more about Speak Up, Matt Dix. Again, I'm excited to be here. Episode 6 is great. Episode 5 was wonderful. Nancy Sohn, secretary of our board of directors, the main reason Friends of Feeney was started. It was a great episode. It really opened eyes and people got to know her and her story and actually helped form the Friends of Feeney. So thank you, Nancy. Follow up to that, I received something really nice. I'm wearing it. John Hertz, custom made pen, is a friend of Nancy's. Made it Friends of Feeney colors. This means a lot. And he also wrote a handwritten note. I don't know if you noticed in the past, Friends of Feeney really pushes handwritten notes. They make they make the person feel it's authentic, it's real, and it's more touching. Handwritten note. So John Hertz Jr. also does great things for Knights of Columbus, and I just want to say thank you, friend, John Hertz. I got a lot more shout outs, but we're going to do them as the story goes on. Speaking of stories, I'm here with a great storyteller, a fashion guru. I mean, the man's looking like $1 million. Always, from head to toe. I'm just so happy that Matt. What's up, Matt?
How's it going, Eric? It's a pleasure to be here. I was so excited to when you reached out. I've been just like a friend and admirer of yours for going on like 2 years now. So it's exciting to be here.
That's great. I appreciate that. You did help me in a jam. We'll get into that. You are, I don't know if you could see, I don't know if you need to zoom in on this outfit, but the pocket squares, the tie, the custom-made suits, he actually helped me out big time. I was going to a wedding. It was a New Year's Eve wedding. When I found out my suit, I needed a new suit, and it was New Year's Eve. I go see Matt, and he made it happen. Sized me up, got me looking fresh, got multiple compliments through the night. It was great, and thanks to you, and we had that connection ever since. Earlier to that, my friend Rob Oliver is one of your main customers, suggested I'd go down there. So tell us what you do. Tell us about Bard's. We're very happy to hear about Bard's clothing.
Absolutely, yeah. So I am the owner and founder of Bard's Clothing. It is a custom-made clothing company, and we do everything direct to consumer. So no store, no worry about lines. I'm going to your office, to your home. I will size you up. I'll bring a book of fabrics, book of linings, completely customize a look for you, a wardrobe for you. My mandate, my vocation is to tell people stories. Back in medieval times, bards were storytellers. They would go around, travel throughout the land. They would tell the stories of the kingdom, of noblemen. They would speak of victories, changes in culture, and everybody has an amazing story to tell. Even if that person doesn't think it's an amazing story, it's amazing to somebody. And what I've always found is that people dilute their story. They send the wrong message with their wardrobe, with their outfit. The first thing people see is your outfit. It doesn't that's not going to change. There's no narrative you can change about that. The first thing people look at you, they see your outfit. And especially today, social media, you might not even know it, but 3,000 people could see your picture that you don't even know who they are. So it's really important that you send the right message, and you send a message that speaks to your brand, who you are. And I'm going after that message while also doing it in a sustainable and eco-friendly way by only doing on-demand clothing. So I don't make clothing just to show you clothing. I actually make it for you, and it's a zero-waste, sustainable method.
That's awesome. I mean, again, not to bring it back to me, but you also suggested, I don't know why and how, but a black vest under my gray suit, which killed. And so I don't know if that had something, I don't know if you saw something or that's the style, but maybe would have not went with the vest, but after your suggestion, I rocked it. And I mean, again, at the wedding was killing it. So I don't know, how do you go about that? And then one time you suggested new shorts, a little more custom fit, nicer pair of good quality shorts. Something you want to talk about.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, my job is really all about reading people and kind of understanding what they're not showing, what they're not telling. And for you, you're a teacher. You know, you're trying to give people information that they would not have come across in any other sort of way. You're telling them why it's important to learn X, Y, and Z. So I could kind of see on that being, here's a vest, here's something to change up your wardrobe, change up your outfit. And people reading that are going to say, well, I wouldn't have thought to do that either. So you're coming at them the same way you're approaching teaching. Here's a look, here's something different, here's something new. So that's a perfect example of your wardrobe speaking to your brand of who you are and what you do. And the shorts, a lot of people, when they dress casual, they immediately go for the bottom. They're like, I need something that functions, and that's it. That, you know, you don't have to shoot for rock bottom. You could add a little flair, add a little style into casual wardrobe, because that honestly goes a lot longer. People think getting dressed up, I'm going to wear a suit, I'm going to dress to the nines. It's not really that much. It doesn't go as far as it did today. If you dress up a casual outfit, people respond to it so much better nowadays. They're like, wow, like that really looks nice. Even if it's just a pair of fitted shorts and a fitted shirt, you know, maybe not a medium t-shirt, but something.
Medium.
Yeah.
Oh, and speaking of medium t-shirt, I did a speak up. You attended it. I don't know if I wore the pants. You suggested I wore some pants and I didn't. And I'm like, I was regretting it. And then finally the next day at school, I sent you a pic. And I'm like, yeah, I should have been wearing these pants.
Yeah.
So yeah, you hooked me up a bunch of times. Suit, shorts, and pants.
Absolutely.
So definitely see Bards. You're on Facebook, Instagram.
So I'm on Instagram at Bard's Clothing. I don't have a Facebook. There's enough Facebook notifications out there for people. So I'm on Instagram at Bard's Clothing, and you can check out my website, bardsclothing.com. I do send out a weekly newsletter that has tips and style efforts and just a little bit of industry knowledge to kind of help level up your game.
Awesome. And then also I really want to thank you. You volunteered your time, and you were a celebrity donut server at a fundraiser that we had at Donut Crazy. So thank you. How'd you feel about that, serving donuts?
That was awesome. That was so much fun. I've spent a long time in charity work and volunteering, and I'm always looking for something fun, something different. And this was just like the perfect storm of like everything that I really held true to myself, which was, you know, helping Friends of Feeney, doing something fun, helping a local business, Donut Crazy, Irene, shout out to Irene. Irene is the best. So being able to work with her, I also have a short sleeve button down shirt that's all donuts. So I don't often get to rock that. So I did that day. So no, it was awesome to support you. I got your daughter sold me a hoodie. She might have a future in sales.
Nice.
And I wear that Friends of Feeney hoodie pretty much every day in the apartment. So
awesome. Pretty comfy, right?
Oh my gosh, so comfy.
$25. We have every size. Friends of Feeney hoodie goes to a good cause. Also, that donut shirt was definitely fire. I mean, people are wearing hoodies and shirts, but you showed up. I mean, nice.
Got it. See, that's like kind of what I was talking about before, is just like you can put your brand into everything. It doesn't just need to be like, oh, Matt, the suit guy. You know, people can remember me. Oh, Matt, he dresses well. He wore that short sleeve casual donut shirt. People will still associate me with clothing. So, you know, it's easy to just put yourself into all facets of life. It doesn't just have to be like, you know, my job is X and I'm going to devote everything into X and I'm going to let the other things kind of slide. You know, when you start paying attention to something like your wardrobe, the small details of your life, then you start becoming very detail oriented to the other aspects of your life. And it really is it's kind of a respond to that. And
trickle down effect.
yeah, absolutely.
They say that about making your bed in the morning. Accomplish this small task will only lead to bigger tasks being completed throughout the day, and maybe that's what the elephant.
It's a perfect example, and I find that a lot of people, they listen to the motivational books, podcasts and YouTube videos, and they get up, they get fired up, and they make their bed in the morning, but then they go to their wardrobe and they immediately go for a compromise, like, I'll wear these pants, they get the job done. I'll wear this shirt, there's a stain, but nobody's gonna notice. And so it's like you take one step forward and 3 steps back, So it's like you can't just say you talk the talk and walk the walk, and while you're walking around and your pants have holes in them and you tell somebody, hey, they get the job done. If you're willing to say, they get the job done on your own outfit, why would I trust myself to do business with you? You might be like, hey, it gets the job done on like my plumbing or something, or my kid's education or anything like that. For education for you, you don't need an A to pass a class.
True.
What's the convincing thing to tell people to do anything above like a C or whatever it takes? It's all the same message.
Gotcha. And then speaking of Donut Crazy, Irene, I mentioned this in episode 3. She didn't know anything about it. It's confirmed. If you mention Be a Good Friend, promo code Be a Good Friend, when you go into Donut Crazy on Farmington Avenue, you will get a discount on your purchase. Thank you, Irene, and friends of Feeney. Be a good friend. And that event was great. We raised money for a family that had a house fire. Yeah. A lot of the chamber members were there. The chamber has been great. They're great friends. Dave was a great friend, part of the chamber.
Shout out to Dave.
Shout out to Dave. This is all thanks to Direct Line Media. We're here in studio. You're familiar to this spot.
Absolutely. This is not my first time being behind the camera for Direct Line Media, and I've known Dave for several years. He's been a huge friend, huge support. One of my favorite quotes is a speech from Arnold Schwarzenegger where he's like, you can call me anything in the world, but never call me a self-made man. Because when I look back at my life, I was sleeping in the gym. I had nowhere to go. I was an immigrant. I had no money to my name, but my friends from the gym brought me food. They brought me pillows. They helped me lift me up. There's always people along your road to success that you don't acknowledge fully. Like, it doesn't just have to be somebody gave you $1 million for startup cash and that's it. It can be little things. And, Direct Line Media is a perfect example of like, wherever in my career, he's been there as like a helping hand. And this is a perfect example. You've reached out, there's always people in your life who are willing to reach out. If you give enough people what they want, you'll get everything that you want.
Got to have a good support system. Yeah, there's something, my wife's great support system.
Yeah.
Behind every good man, there's a good woman or something. I don't know. Some president said that once. But moving on, we shouted out Donut Crazy. I want to talk about this quickly. I apologize. This is big. This is our second year. The Global Cardboard Challenge. Last year, it was August, Back it up. Right. How we doing there? It was last year. We were live in Elmwood Community Center. We had 1,000 pounds of cardboard and about 100 rolls of duct tape, and we just let the kids create. It was an awesome event. We had live music. We had Elmwood Pizza donated. Elmwood Bakery was a supporter. Beachland Tavern donated chicken fingers and fries for the kids. Pepe's donated pizza. The kids had a blast. You should see the kids, the things they were building. Pinball machines, claw machines. Anyway, I can go on and on about Makerspace. This year we're doing it virtually. We will mail you a bag of items and you're giving out prizes for the best Makerspace. Contact Elmwood Makerspace at Gmail. All are encouraged to play. Check out, we have a whole photo album of some photos from last year. So it was we're going to hang these up. School system will be sending these out. They'll be in your local businesses. But again, awards for the maker's bag that travels the farthest. You ever build anything with cardboard?
It's been a while, but I'm sure I did when I was younger.
All right. And Wendy, if you want to go back to episode 4, she was a guest on Feeney Talks with Friends, episode 4, Wendy from Elmwood Makerspace. All right, so your connection with Friends of Feeney, you helped support a Donut Crazy event. You've also hooked them up and made them look great. Do you have, and again, being a teacher, that is a big part of our conversation. Is there a teacher that you would like to shout out, someone that inspired you, someone that has maybe helped you become who you are?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I keep a journal that I try to write in a couple times a week, and I have a running list of people that have helped me along the way. And it doesn't matter if it's just my friend who works at Webster Bank. It doesn't matter if it's, you know, any aspect, just somebody that has given me something. There's definitely a teacher who unfortunately passed away a couple years ago, but his name is Jerry White from Marist College. And this guy, he could tell you every single person who pretty much lived in Europe from like the beginning of time till now, off the top of his head. He would just rattle off every king, queen, descendant, who their children were, illegitimate and not, everybody. He would just rattle it off. I was so enthralled with how this guy talked, how he delivered his message. My senior year of college, I actually took 4 classes with him in one semester. And he put this idea in my head that history is almost like hooks in a wall. It doesn't really mean much until you string them together and can tell the right story. So you look back at historical events, the facts, those are the hooks in the wall, but you create the narrative, you know, and there's that saying that the victors rewrite history. You know, everything can be told in a version. So for me, that's kind of how I see people today. Everybody has a story. They have important aspects of their life. They might not think that they're very important, but others might think they are. So it's the same aspect of like, that's a fact that happened to you. But the story, the thread that you're using to string that story together, that might change somehow. And it's like the thread of how you're going to dress, you know, how you're going to present yourself. Maybe that's how you change your story. You know, maybe it's some other aspect of.
Did that teacher ever mention the word terminology bards? Plant that seed?
I did take medieval history, and bards were brought up. So when I was thinking about the name, and it's, you know, it's going to be one of those things I look back on. It was like 4 a.m. I'm sitting there, hunched over my computer. I'm like trying to think of the name, and it just like dawned on me. I started thinking about like school and history and everything, and I remembered this word, and I looked back to see if I remembered it correctly, and I absolutely did. And I was like, well, this is perfect.
Yeah, I Googled it yesterday.
Yeah, it's full circle for me.
I like it. I think it fits
you.
You tell a good story, and we talked about that before camera. Went on building relationships. Teachers build relationships. Obviously, your Marist professor connected with you, and that's what you seem to do in your business, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. My whole business is predicated on relationships, and I mean, I know that I work in luxury clothing. I'm not the kind of guy that you're going to be messaging or emailing or coming to see like on a weekly basis, monthly, maybe not even yearly. But I want to have a relationship with you, and people want to have a relationship with me where they can depend on me for a New Year's Eve wedding.
Yeah.
They know, all right, I've got something to do. I've got something going on. I've got a gentleman I'm working on his wedding suit right now, and he was like, you know, I looked at this, and this, and none of it felt right. So he messaged me. You know, I'm someone to think of. I've got one client who texts me probably once a week, where's a good place to eat? You know, it has nothing to do with clothing at all, but we've built a relationship where he depends on me to be that kind of lifestyle person for him. And that's who I want to be for people, just something to get you, something that helps you to live your life to the best I can make it happen.
No, I felt connected as soon as you hooked me up. I'm like, this guy went out of his way. We're in. You know, and then word of mouth was great for your business. Mm-hmm. Rob suggested I go to you. Rob opens up his suit. something was written in. Do you know what he writes in? Something funny like
Yeah.
the ball, Scarface or something.
Mr. Baller.
Mr. Baller.
Yep.
Mr. Baller.
Yep, Mr.
So
Baller.
you can get custom suits if you want to open up your pocket and be Mr. Baller. You could see Bards.
Absolutely. You know, in my suit right now, I actually have a quote from, I'm a huge Batman fan, and I have a quote, "Why do we fall?"
Which Batman is that?
So that would be Batman Begins.
Keaton.
No, that would be Bale. So I actually have a quote, that quote stitched into my suit because I knew, you know, starting a business in the middle of a global pandemic, not going to be easy. And I just needed to keep that reminder of like getting knocked down. Why do I get knocked down? Why do we fall? So we can learn to pick ourselves back up. I've been doing this for, you know, a couple months now, and I've faced a world of challenges. And, you know, it's just been a constant reminder of like, got to keep going, got to keep going.
What are some other quotes you have or messages you have written inside that you'd like to share?
I have the Bard written in most of mine,
Nice.
you know, and it's just a constant reminder that, bards are here to tell other people's stories. So that's a good reminder for me to always be like selfless, you know, to always keep the focus on them. I can tell people all the time, you should wear this, you should get this, you know, get this blue suit, it's the best suit, get this fabric, it's the best, you know, and that's why I decided to go out on my own, because I've gone into high-end luxury stores, you know, $7,000 sport coats, and I've gone into these stores and the first thing somebody says is, "Oh, you should buy this, it's a beautiful piece." Like, you didn't even ask me anything about me. Why would you think that I would want that? You know, and so it's a constant reminder for me to just focus on that, to focus on their story, who they are,
What are your
fits
first
them.
couple questions that you ask a client?
What their shopping experience has been like, first of all. I also do, like I said, direct to consumer. So I really prefer to go to people's homes. That way I can see their wardrobe. And for me, that helps. All right, you've got 18 blue shirts. Let's not do another blue, you know?
Okay.
You've got 5 blue suits and 1 gray suit. Maybe let's add in some color. So that way they see what I'm actually talking about, that I'm not here to just sell you a thing. I could tell you all the time why a certain fabric is amazing and why you should buy it. Absolutely. But I don't want to do that. I want to tell you, you should get like a knit blue blazer or something to go with jeans, because you're in jeans 7 days a week. Get something that you're actually going to wear. You shouldn't get a black suit because everybody says you always need a black suit. When's the last time you've ever needed one? Even a funeral. Most people wear a charcoal suit. You know, my grandmother passed away on 4th of July this past year, and my mother was like, you know, nobody wear black. You know, your grandmother loved color, and so I wore like a hunter green suit, and it was perfect for that. You know, I was happy wearing it, and then I knew she was happy wearing it.
Did you hook up Eric Bergen recently? He was very happy with the
Yeah.
connection that you made.
So
Also on Behind the Brand.
Yeah.
Check out that episode, Direct Line Media, Eric Bergen. Sorry.
Absolutely. No, Eric is absolutely an amazing friend. And you know what's so funny is everything that we've been talking about it's not even like 6 degrees of separation. It's like 3 degrees of separation. I saw Eric sitting at a coffee shop like 4 years ago. And then I saw him at another one. And then I saw him on Facebook with one of my best friends who I grew up with my entire life. And I was like, who is this guy? And he was like, oh, you should definitely get to know him. And so I messaged him on Facebook one day and we sat down, we got coffee. It was amazing. We ended up going to a bachelor party together for this friend who we were talking about. And, you know, we just so happened to be, you know, living in the center. But I do wardrobe consultations. And that's been a big part of my business, especially growing my business, where I'll go to your house and I'll just pull everything out and let's look at everything you got.
I was going to ask you if you did that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I might need that.
Yeah, it's so big, and especially because it's so weird to be a salesman and try to promote, I'm not here to sell you something. You know, I'm here to optimize your wardrobe.
How many T-shirts should a 40-year-old man 41-year-old man own?
Less than you own.
All right. Nicole Feeney.
Yeah. So I went to his house, and he's a financial advisor, and an amazing one. And we went through his wardrobe, and he said, I like this suit, but it doesn't really fit right. I like this suit. It's a little too big. So I took a couple things, and I said, tailor these up. These let's donate. I took like maybe 8 shirts out of his closet that he was like, this doesn't fit, I'm never gonna wear it. This doesn't fit, I'm never gonna wear it. And so it's like
Do you have a set fee for that, or is it hourly?
It's $150 per hour, and we go through. And also at the end, I map out a whole like, you're in suits all the time. Your next purchase should be a suit, probably in either this color or this color. And I'll try to map out. And I don't necessarily tell you should buy from me, but I tell you I'll give you a good price on it if you do after the consultation.
And what's that session called when you come
A
to the
wardrobe
house?
consultation.
A wardrobe consultation,
Yep.
$150.
Yep, you can book it on my website. I've got all my availability, and I also broke it down. I could go to your house, and we could just look at the wardrobe. We could actually go through and pair jeans with things, try to be a little bit more casual. So whatever lifestyle you're trying to go for, whatever lifestyle you think you have, because a lot of people say like, oh, I'm like in finance, so I wear suits all the time. Well, you hate all the suits you wear. Like here, you would be better served in a couple sport coats and maybe less suits. So kind of changing people up a little bit.
I know I looked so fresh in this wedding, and I haven't worn it since. And that was, killed it.
Right, but you're still riding that high. That's
I
what
was
it's
like,
all about.
I so bad looked around for a picture. I wanted to hold up.
Yeah.
This is how fresh I looked. This is how fresh Matt made me look at this
Absolutely.
wedding. Killed.
Yeah, that's what it's all about.
My wife's cousin, John. Shout out John, PA. I may or might look better than the groom. I don't know. I don't want to tell you, but funny looking guy anyway. But anyway, that was fun. And I want to point out your outfit. And I know that we're on camera, so let's take full advantage of a show and tell.
Yeah.
You have some items with you. Let's just talk about this pocket square. Or
Yeah.
pocket.
Pocket round.
Ooh, excuse me.
Yeah,
What's the
absolutely.
difference?
Don't let it happen again. So, you're a teacher. One's square and one's round.
Oh, that
Yep.
geometry. That's
Yeah.
unit 2. I'm still in unit 1.
Yep. So yeah, this is a pocket round. It actually has fringed edges, so it gives you that nice kind of floral
You
poof.
want to hold it towards the camera? Can you see that? Hold it up. Look at that thing.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. I do not own a pocket round.
Not many
I
do.
need one.
Not many do. One day you'll look this good.
Mention Friends of Feeney, you might get one if you go to Florida.
Absolutely. Yep. We'll work on that.
So
discount
Irene
code.
has a be a good friend promo code. Bart's
Yep.
promo code coming soon.
Yep, absolutely. So yeah, these add something to an outfit, especially because people are wearing less ties. People have looked to other areas to kind of spruce up their wardrobe a little bit, and the pocket square, pocket round has been a great way to do that. This sport coat I actually designed for kind of a mixture of dress casual, so I did like really natural shoulders. It doesn't have that very boxy kind of full look. It's got a thinner shoulder pad, very soft canvas. I do the third button, so people say 3 buttons are a little old school, but this one actually rolls into the lapel, so something a little different.
Okay. So you're saying they're mostly 2 button?
Mostly 2 buttons people are wearing. Another Batman quote, Morgan Freeman comes up and he says,
Oh no, that's not.
3 buttons are a little
If
90s.
it was. Oh, I should pull it up.
Yeah.
A little sidetrack.
Yeah, no
Trying to
worries.
find the
We're
suit.
trying to find this picture. I love that it's a mission to find Eric looking good.
You know?
It's
It's all about me. You're here, aren't you? Let's go.
It takes several people.
My support system.
Yeah. So we got a couple fabrics also. I am also the one and only salesman in Connecticut that sells these fabrics are made in Connecticut from a company called American Woolen Co. I'm the only person that sells a suit that you could say was actually made in Connecticut. No one else can give you that. A lot of others made in Italy,
Where in
made in
Connecticut?
China.
Do you know where?
The factory is in Stafford Springs.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Not only made in America,
Yep.
made in Connecticut.
Right. So, a lot of things in production, they'll say made in America, but, the fabric comes from somewhere else, it's stitched whatever. This is 100% from soil to stitch, made in America. Yeah.
Now, is one fabric more pricey?
So the fabrics
More
all
formal.
range. The fabrics really range. I have the nice thing about this end of business is that I work directly with the mills, so directly with the people that make the fabric, and they send me boxes, books of all the fabric, and I'm able to show people, hey, this is Holland and Sherry. They're on Savile Row. They're the people that dress Parliament. They obviously from England, so it's a little bit heavier, more that like traditional tweed fabric you think of. This is great for winter, spring, something like that. But then I also have Dorme, which is a fabric, a little bit of like more of a silk blend, a little lighter. This is fantastic for maybe like a casual kind of a suit look. So I try to get a wide range of fabrics to kind of fit any lifestyle activity.
Would you consider yourself the Michael Jordan of men's fashion?
Sure. Yeah, I would go that far.
No, you're pretty good.
Yeah, thank you.
I mean, hearing your knowledge and you have the lingo and the jargon, it's great. I see a couple more boxes of bags.
So I got one box, I got the bag over there.
You want to break it out?
Yeah, sure. You can break it out.
Got it.
Yeah, absolutely. So
While we're doing that, I'm going to shout out Sock Stars. Speaking of clothes, if you want to look really good, you go down to Sock Stars on LaSalle Road and get... Oop, is that on? You paused it? Sock Stars on LaSalle Ave. Speaking of fashion and looking great, Sock Stars has been wonderful working with us. They have masks, T-shirts, and socks down there. Very happy. And episode 3 featured Rob. Rob is playing tomorrow at K-Bar on Park Road in Hartford. Rob was our live music for our Global Cardboard Challenge down at the Elmwood Senior Center. Rob was a guest on episode 3. So shout out to Rob. See him tomorrow at 6 o'clock at K-Bar. Oh, look at these things. These are fresh.
So I'm going to have you
Pinstripes.
hold that guy.
Ooh,
So that's your
think I like that
CEO
one. Yeah.
showstopper.
that's me right there.
Absolutely. Look at that. Yep, you can see the label inside right underneath the collar is going to say handmade in America. Perfect.
Handmade in the USA.
Yep. So that's like your traditional suit, right there. That's your 2-button notch lapel, full canvas, full body. All the handwork is done into it. The buttons are a little bit more substantial. They're not going to crack in the dry cleaner. That's a 25-year suit. You treat that well, it's going to treat you well. That's a huge part of everything today is that I see a lot of people, they'll go to a chain retailer and they'll buy a suit and it's like, I don't know, $200-$300. And then they'll come back a couple months later because the pants ripped, and a couple months later, by the end
It's
of
durable as well.
Yeah, absolutely. By the end of it, it's like you've spent $5,000 replacing the suit. Like you could have bought one of these and 2 of these, and you get more for your money.
The pocket is slanted. Is that what's the
Yep.
difference between slant or straight across?
Just style etiquette. Sometimes it's easier to put a pocket square or something into it, but it's also an acknowledgement of the handwork in there. Is that a machine wouldn't be able to do that? That's actually placed there, lined up by hand. Yep.
To just accentuate, to show that it's handmade.
Yeah, absolutely. And the opposite is this. This is a sport coat, completely unconstructed. This is mine. You can see the bard
it.
right in there. So this is a little bit more casual. There's no lining. There's no nothing. This is light. This is easy. I've got patch pockets on here, all the pick stitching. This is always huge. People love this. The functioning buttonholes with contrast thread. I've got functioning buttons on that. So these functioning buttonholes, this was big back in the Civil War. Surgeons would wear their white coats onto the battlefield, and they would have to unbutton their sleeves and roll up their sleeves and actually do surgery right then and there. So tailors took note of this because it was really nice kind of handwork that went into it. And on Savile Row, it used to be all doctor's offices on Savile Row, which is a street in London where all the best mills are. So they, when they converted over to tailors, the tailors kind of picked up on that and started putting it on all of these. And these are a really great acknowledgement of kind of like a better make in a coat.
I love that history lesson. I'm a lifelong learner, teacher, and you learn something new every day. So surgeons
surgeon
were
cuffs.
based off the cuffs. That's awesome.
So yeah, this is a perfect example of just kind of like getting to know your lifestyle. Like me, I run hot. You know, I like an unlined coat. There's nothing but you and the fabric here. You know, that one's a fully lined. You know, so that's like your office 9 to 5. I'm just gonna sit, not do much to work. This is a little bit different. This is like a lifestyle coat. I'm out, I'm speaking, I'm doing something fun. So
Can you wear that one with jeans?
Absolutely. I pretty
That
much
looks fresh
only
with
wear
jeans,
this
I think,
one with
yeah.
jeans. But you can see with dress pants, brown dress pants.
Can you wear this
it
one with
goes.
jeans?
No.
Probably not.
You probably should not. As much as
Well, you laughing at me. This is the question. You laughing over here.
People get it. I get it all the time. We're like, can I get a suit and break it up? I'm like, I tell people not to, because what's going to happen is you're going to wear one more than the other. Your jacket versus your pant. One's going to just look a little bit more worn and
it'll
torn.
start faded
So
and
could you? Sure. Is it a wise decision? Probably not. You know, it's like you got 4 wheels on your car. If you're not going to just change one because you take too many right turns, you got to change them all. It's the same concept as this. You got to treat it all right. All right, we can put
Which ones can you rock a vest with?
Either, any. I've got a vest that goes with both of these.
Because I'm all vest all the time now after that New Year's Eve party.
It is the best way to go. All right. Beautiful. Thank you.
So do you have a friend, an important friend, that you'd like to shout out or share? You spoke on your teacher. We spoke on your supporting of Friends of Feeney, and you're a fantastic donut server.
Thank you.
Someone that
Years
was
of
there for you.
salesman.
You talked about support system.
Yeah. I got to say, my girlfriend, Erin, she's been just a superhero in this entire ordeal. And, during quarantine, it was really interesting. Ryan Holiday, he's a great author. He speaks about this concept of dead time and what people do in their dead time versus alive time. And what you do in your dead time really shows kind of like who you are and what you're going to do with your life. And I had 3 months off from work because obviously luxury clothing, it's not exactly essential work. So I spent every single day waking up 4 a.m., reading, trying to get to know like this business more. And I looked into like, I could actually make this work. So I was up late at night talking with her several times and just saying like, hey, would you support me if I did this? And she was behind me 100%. My family has been huge also. I've got 9 brothers and sisters, and that was they were all about it. Most of them are physicians or teachers, and so I kind of went in a different direction in retail.
Where are you in the 9? Middle?
I'm number 6. Yeah, so kind of in the middle. So it's always interesting. It's fun being in a big family because I'm like, I started a business, and there's like 10 other people that have incredible news also going on. So it's fun being from a big family in that aspect.
I performed surgery today. Saved someone's life.
Yeah.
Something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. So, this podcast would be 8 hours long if I thanked everybody I could thank. But
you need to go into detail on all 9.
Yeah.
Ready, go.
Yeah. No, so like my family is really supportive, but there's so many people that I look to as people who started businesses that were a little different. The Liquorist is one that I've been a huge supporter of. Dan Hoagland and his wife Rebecca, they are bartenders. They started a mobile drinkery. It's actually an old horse wagon that they converted into a bar.
It's like a food truck?
Like a food truck, but for drinks.
I thought that's not... Is that legal?
Oh, it's very legal.
What?
Yeah.
Is it legal in West Hartford?
Depends where. They pull...
Fundraiser.
Yep, I've had them pull up onto...
Give me their numbers.
Yeah, I've had them pull up onto like families' yards, do family parties, but they were a big inspiration because I constantly was in communication with them, like, what's it like starting a business? Like, it's just you two. This is different. This is new. It's Connecticut. Like, everything's going on. And then they've been a great support for just kind of seeing, like, what it's like, the hardship of, not having things go their way, because they're event-based. And obviously when quarantine happened and COVID, everything got canceled. But then I was just speaking with them, and they told me that overnight business just skyrocketed because everybody decided, you know what, let's have a backyard wedding. And so what's better than having a drink wagon pull up into your yard? So it's like, for me, those are the things that I love hearing, because I'm like, oh, cool. Like, adapt and overcome, and, every single challenge presents something. So for me, this is a huge announcement. You're getting the exclusive. I started this company with the intention of just doing men's clothing, and it never 100% sat right with me because
it's 2020.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's 2020. I didn't want, and I'm here to tell people's stories. So I went up to the factory this past weekend, and I got the rundown on learning how to make clothing for all genders.
Oh, nice.
Men, women, everything. I really want to promote that. One of my really close friends, he's trans, and it was really important to me to be able to make clothing for him and not have, a men's or women's section on my website, just to have clothing on my website.
So that's how you're going to do it?
That's how I'm going to do it. And that's if
awesome.
You check, I started out in the beginning promoting men's clothing, hashtag men's clothing, hashtag menswear. I've gotten rid of those hashtags. I'm really trying to promote just custom clothing, your story. My main business hashtag is your story tailored. And I really needed to get back to that. So for me, that was really important, that I'm able to now make clothing for anybody and anybody. And, I was at a client's house last week, and getting him a sport coat and some stuff. And we're talking, and he was like, oh man, I wish there was something like this for women's. And I was like,
done.
All right, absolutely. I was like, when I drop everything off, we'll get her all set up. So, I know women have a very hard time finding shirts and jackets and professional clothing that is flattering, that they like. So it was big for me. And,
Well, I'm really excited for you, and I'm really honored that he dropped it here. We have an exclusive. Bards is going universal, all genders. That is great. Custom made. Say like the guy wanted, or the person wanted just a suit with short sleeves and like really custom.
Short sleeve suit.
Do you custom like that? Or?
We can, yeah. So there's a.
Silly question, but
it's a silly question, but it's also what people look for. There's a big difference between custom, made to measure, bespoke. All these words kind of get jumbled together, and they're very different. Made to measure is like 95% of what people see out there in the world. You go to like Indochino or anything like that, that's made to measure. It's not custom. Bespoke is also, you walk into a tailor, he measures you up, he cuts the fabric by hand, he puts it on you. That's bespoke. That's like.
Spell that.
BESPOKE.
BE spoke.
Yeah. Bespoke. Yeah.
Wow. Learning things. All right.
Yeah. So that's not me. So I'm kind of a hybrid in between. It's more handwork. It's more customization. So this is, let me see if I can get this. So you see that elbow patch?
Yep.
So I did self-fabric elbow patches. So I wanted something a little bit different, but not like your traditional elbow patch. So I took the same fabric and just put it right on there. I got shirt.
Is it just another layer, or is there also padding?
No, just another layer of fabric, just something different, something fun.
And if you could barely see if you didn't point that out.
Exactly.
But it's cool.
So it's like a novelty kind of an item. I also have a throat latch under here, which always gets tucked away.
Oh, what's that for?
Just, to be awesome. That's it.
Oh, one time, speaking of which, I saw you at like a best of. Mm-hmm. You were rocking an ascot.
Oh, yeah.
How many ascots do you own? And what can a teacher rock an ascot?
I would say it would be hard for you to rock it in the classroom.
Okay, maybe not during the day with the students.
You'd probably have a student take it off and rat tail you. But But no, I have about 3 ascots,
Nice.
and I mean they're fun to wear
Yeah,
because
yeah.
you cannot wear it without 15 people approaching you as soon as you walk.
I mean,
in.
it gets attention.
Oh, absolutely.
But it's got to be a little mixed.
It's
negative and positive.
It's a little bit. Some people are like, oh, this guy,
This dude.
you know, like my God. But then other people are like, wow, like
No, you pulled it off that night.
bravo to you for pulling that off. You know, it's a fun look, but I like experimenting. You know, I like pushing the boundaries.
And you said 2 things back to Matt Dix, episode 1, Speak
Mm-hmm.
Up. He spends time on his current job and he spends time on the job he wishes he had. And that's
Yeah.
what you did during quarantine.
Yeah.
And he also says you should journal 100 days.
Yeah.
Homework for life. Journal for and do you do that, obviously? You say you journal.
Yep. Yeah. So I listened to Matt Dix's book,
Storytelling? Story-worthy?
Storyworthy. Yeah. That was actually one of the first books I listened to during quarantine. I tried Journal for Life, but it's kind of hard when you're quarantined and nothing's happening. Because I was like, well, I had yogurt today.
I got to like 66 days. I was so happy. I was
Yeah.
going to text him, where's my prize?
Yeah.
Because we got a love-hate relationship. And I was like,
Yeah.
I made it to 100 days.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, no, but I do try it. But, you know, Matt Dix, awesome guy. I went to one of the Speak Up things. And, you know, what's so cool is that people have always associated me with storytelling. I'm just that loud guy who's always in the corner telling a story, wanting to hear people's stories. That's just who I am. And I actually, before Bards, before everything, I actually looked for ways to hone my storytelling skills. And this is maybe 2016, 2017, because I was like, all right, I'm a salesman. Like, I love that. I read, 200 books on sales, listen to every podcast, every YouTube video. And I was like, there's got to be more to this than just selling. And so I started looking into storytelling, and I was like, what? This is like a thing. People do this. They compete. This is amazing. So I started looking into this more, and then I started coming across this guy, Matt Dix, and I'm like, what? There's like a guy you can go to, and then lo and behold, he's 15 minutes away.
Yep.
I was just mind blown.
And less about Matt, less about
Yeah,
Matt.
yeah.
Come on. What about me? How about my
Yeah,
story?
exactly.
The
Your
story that you
story.
came to
Yeah.
in New Haven.
Yeah.
Feeney did a Speak Up. I've done 4.
Yeah. So
and I would never have gotten into that
yeah.
if it wasn't for that clown.
Yeah,
Matt
so
Dix.
a perfect example of a support system is that my girlfriend Erin, she knows how important storytelling is to me and everything, and knew that I heard me brought this guy up and this whole concept, and this was after your great awakening with the big suit, and she actually for my birthday got me tickets to go to Speak Up. It was the day before my birthday. I just turned 31. I know.
We celebrated.
Yeah, well, we did. Yeah, so I mean, that's a perfect example of just the support system, but also how it all kind of comes to fruition. I had, my support with me. I was learning there. Everything about it was just amazing to me.
And I like how it goes well with Bards, storytelling.
Yeah.
I mean, it all fits. And
Absolutely.
it fits you, too.
Yeah.
Again, I Googled it, and I was like, this is crazy. This is very fitting. And but again, I can't thank you. I don't know if you have anything else. Do we have any questions on Facebook Live, any chance? All right. We started this. This is Feeney Talks with Friends. Yes, we're having a great time. We're going back and forth. We're bantering. We're learning about Matt. But this is really about Friends of Feeney and the nonprofit. Our mission is to help children and families that have heartbreak or tragedy. It all started when one of my students lost their dad. And you want to learn more about that, go to our last episode, episode 5, with Nancy. Nancy is the strongest person I know. Nancy is now the secretary of our board of directors. Nancy is fantastic. And episode 5, if you want to learn more, she shared it. 900 something views, right, Dave? That was pretty good. 900 views. So
Not
I mean, you better beat 900 today, buddy.
901. That's what I'm going for.
And then we also share the link and hopefully ask for some donations. So thank you for coming. Hopefully your support system and your 9 brothers and sisters with your wonderful jobs will reach in their pocket and donate.
Absolutely.
But thank you so much. You look sharp. I mean,
Thank
you have that rapport with people. You're very, I felt that relationship right away. and you saved me the day of. I was going to go to this wedding looking like a scrub, and I look fresh, and I found it. This is the whole family. I don't know how. Can you see that, Dave, a little farther back? Yeah, right there. Right there. There's me in the middle, too. So I look so sharp.
Yeah,
They put me in the middle.
That's a huge
My wife
picture.
over there, the suit, the vest.
Look at you. You're front and center.
Front and center at their family.
The bride and groom probably have the picture of you hanging in
Yes,
their house
yes.
right now.
I'm on the cover
Yeah.
of the wedding album.
Yeah, absolutely.
Of this suit. Look at that suit. I mean, the vest felt great. It was
Stunning.
fitting.
Stunning.
I felt a little Conor McGregor. I
Yeah.
was walking like Conor.
Walking just like it.
You know? Conor McGregor. Catch that? But again, looking great. And again, thank you so much. And we did speak of best of. I would want to tell people and recommend that you go to the last new business on the best of. West Hartford is doing a best of. It ends October 12th. I would like you to write in Bards for new business. Bards is doing great. Matt is here. It's made in America. It's custom fit. He'll come to your house and look through your closet, which I'm a little scared to do because you're like,
No judgment. It's a no judgment zone.
That's a high school shirt.
Yeah, it's gonna be like when the Grinch robbed the house and it just leaves you with this tiny little brick of cheese.
And then promo code at Crazy Donut. Be a good friend. You get a discount.
Donut crazy.
Donut Crazy. What did I say?
Crazy
Oh,
donut.
jeez. Crazy Donut. Donut Crazy. See Rob and Jeremy tomorrow at 7. And definitely be on the lookout. We want your kids building, creating. They could be the next NASA engineer. You never know what a kid can make until you give them cardboard and duct tape. 40 minutes with Feeney. Are we 40 minutes with Feeney?
We're about, we're over like 50 minutes.
50 minutes with hashtag 50 minutes of Feeney this episode. Matt, you're the man. I really thank you for coming on. You're a good dude. You look great.
Thank you.
And we hope to be in contact. You will be at our next supporting fundraiser. You got to put me in contact with the wagon lady and then come see my closet.
Absolutely.
I'd like again to thank Dave from Direct Line Media. This would not be possible
Shout out
with
to
Dave. Look at the studio's fantastic. Direct Line Media. He volunteers his time. And thank you. I'll see you guys later.
Thank you very much, Eric. Thank you for everybody for watching.